They're hungry. And you see them evolve from the unrefined, tough enough, just pick them off the street into a Brock Lesnar powerhouse over 2 years. And then once they've reached a certain level of development, they get pulled up to the main WWE roster and they let them loose. That is in and of itself another way to find enjoyment out of WWE because they have this development brand where we see a couple clips. We saw Obafemi, we saw Trick Williams, who's this generation's iteration of The Rock, and I can't even argue with him. My dude's got the charisma, he's got the audience, he's got the mic skills, he's got the one-liners. He's on his way. He's like The Rock and Booker T mixed together.
Oh wow!
You got Obafemi walking around as the Brock Lesnar from Nigeria, and he's just dominating people on some Goldberg shit, just ragdolling them around, and you see them work on their mic skills, their in-ring skills, develop chemistry with other wrestlers, develop rivalries that they bring up to the main roster. That creates a new avenue for adults who kind of walked away from wrestling to maybe, not necessarily, but maybe find a new way to find a different way of being interested in it again. I love Trick Williams over Femi. I love Bianca Belair. I love Jade Cargill. And I love seeing them grow into this generation, my son's generations of The Rock. If you ask my son right now, his favorite wrestler, he calls him Cody Raheem Rhodes. It's this white boy named Cody Rhodes.
I know
Dusty
Cody
Rhodes' son. Yeah, Dusty
son.
Rhodes' son. Yeah, but they call him Raheem Rhodes as if he sat there and marched with Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. They got all these memes of him online.
Actually, Cody is Dustin's son, isn't he?
Yeah, Dusty. No, Dusty. Dusty. He's Dustin's brother.
Cody is Dustin's?
He's Goldust's brother. He's Goldust's brother.
Okay.
So half brother. But yeah,
okay.
like they love him. And black culture of that generation, not our generation, but that generation wants to invite him to the cookout because he has a black wife too. And he's got black daughters. And he raises his kids to be black. He don't raise them to be biracial. He like, no, braid her hair. Like, no, all that. And I love it. I love it. I love it. I love that they have their version of their wrestlers that we used to love, their Lex Lugers, their Jake the Snakes. I love seeing the evolution of it all. Anyway, I could talk about wrestling till my face is blue. This could be a whole nother podcast.
Nah. My cousins are like that. They grew up. They all grew up in Atlanta, Georgia. And when I used to go visit them, like that was a huge thing for like culturally, in the family would pull up to whoever had the biggest TV's house and watch the wrestling events. Like that was huge. A huge part of my childhood was watching the Bruiser Brodies of the world. When I say I've been watching wrestling for since the onset, I was watching wrestling when wrestling it wasn't the WCW, it was the it was something. It was even before ECW. It was the network that the Von Erichs
CNN.
It was the Von Erichs. The Von Erichs used to be the major family that used to run this thing. It was the
TNA.
Oh, that's new, isn't it?
Nah,
no, TNA's been around for a while.
Yeah.
Well, but that's how long I've been watching wrestling. So, I realize everything you're saying. It's just that when I realize that the belt is being passed around like a blunt, it doesn't hold the same. It doesn't hold the same value that the World Wrestling Federation Championship used to hold, and that to me is indicative of the business of trying to find
one last thing. Then Roman Reigns is what initially piqued my curiosity in coming back into wrestling, and it was because I heard on the news that he had held the championship, the main championship, for 1,000 days straight. And I was like, what the fuck is in wrestling? What? How many? I had to sit there and do math. I was like, yo, how long is 1,000 days? And then I started to go down the rabbit hole. I started reading about it. I was like, yo, this dude beat Brock Lesnar. He made Goldberg tap out. He beat The Undertaker. I'm like, what is going on? And then I started to just look up little Instagram clips. And then I was like, all right, well, if Goldberg and this dude fought, it's on YouTube. Oh, the full match. Let me just put it in the background while I'm posting stuff. And then I started going down the rabbit hole, and realizing like how Vince took this one wrestler that fans actually did not support when he first came out. Vince was like, this is the guy after The Rock. This is the guy. And everybody was like, no, he's not. No, he's not. For years. And then just watched him over like the course of 5 years go from a hated talent to he is the top wrestler in the world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's just incredible to just see one, Vince McMahon's foresight and knowing how to identify talent even that early in this dude's career, to see it actually flourish, to hold on to the WWE Championship for 1,000 days is, even for them and their writing, unprecedented. They just do it. It broke Hulk Hogan's record, like 1,000 days.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I think what I'm hearing and is like it takes a level of popularity or a level, like you have to reach a certain level of respect for the audience in order to hold down the whole franchise for over 3 years. Well, for just about
he went on
years.
for 1,400 days, and they let him keep it. Like he held on to this title for. But yeah, you're right, and that's why he's Akuma now.
Oh shit, is he Akuma?
In the Street Fighter movie, he's Akuma,
that's a segue,
and
man.
Cody Rhodes is Guile.
Speaking of Street Fighter, man, before we start to wrap up, what we was talking about when you was getting the fresh fade, you know what I'm saying, was some of the projects we're looking forward to in 2026. Did you have any in particular? I think Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat come out this year.
Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Avengers, Doomsday.
Doomsday. Are we looking? That's an anxiety-ridden project that I feel like is now causing more headache than anything, and it's going to have way
Rip
too
the
high.
Band-Aid off.
Yeah, well, I guess. All right, yeah, we'll have to see what that is. Did you have anything else?
Spider-Man, Brand New Day. Tom Holland, Spider-Man. You're not excited? My man cracked his head open for this movie. It's got to be good.
Yeah.
True. Well, when is Beyond the Spider-Verse? Is that 27?
Yeah, if we're lucky.
All right. I was kind of looking a little bit more forward to Beyond the Spider-Verse. It feels like I think we just saw.
We got Spider-Man Noir. Spider-Man Noir is coming out.
Spider-Man Noir. All right, which I want to go ahead and dampen the expectations now. I do not believe that we're going to see a Spider-Man slinging through the streets. I believe this is a detective show where we'll see minimal special effects and more storyline based Spider-Man content. I adamantly believe that. So I'm not going in there expecting to see a dude catch a goblin or an octopus slinging from the Empire State Building. I'm going in expecting for there to be murders, and Spider-Man Noir will be hired in an attempt to, rather than be a photographer working for the Daily Bugle, but to be some sort of Batman type figure that helps police solve crime.
Yeah,
so,
I don't know that anybody thought any different. I mean, that it seemed like a honestly,
I
thought you was gonna say something profound, and I was waiting. I was like, no.
Nah, sometimes you just put Spider-Man on something, so you expect swinging and a bunch of.
We didn't even see that we didn't even see that from Spider-Noir in the Enter the
Spider-Verse.
He did some fighting. He did some fighting.
No. We didn't
see him
swinging. Yeah, we didn't see none of that.
I think that at most what you'll see is on occasion he'll jump on a car, he'll climb up, he'll hang from the ceiling, but these are not I reckon that he will not be.
I'd say he doesn't even do any of that. I'd say you see a lot of perch scenes where he's perching on the top of.
You think just a lot of brooding, huh?
A lot of perching. I mean, this is Nicolas Cage we're talking about.
Well, he's just the voice. Just to be clear, I believe.
Okay,
Nah,
exactly.
he's
in the suit.
He's not. Yeah, he's in the suit. Yes, he is. And when he take off the mask.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, he's
not going to be the actual.
Yes, he is. He's excited for this. You know, he's a comic book fan.
Yeah. And I'm glad he gets to reinvent his Marvel self, because we know he was Ghost Rider originally, which was probably one of the movies that I was so shocked got a sequel. Like, I was like, how the fuck did this movie get a sequel? And the second one was worse than the first.
You hated Ghost Rider? I didn't hate it.
Terrible.
I didn't hate it.
Nicolas Cage did what he could. It was not his fault. He acted his ass off in that movie. But the story, him riding alongside the original Ghost Rider and the second one, and there's this scene where they're just kind of like riding. It was kind of weird, man. And Dark Blackheart was done the worst disservice of all, because that Blackheart is like a motherfucker, and they depicted him as some short human. And I know he showed his powers and shit, but nah, they should have unleashed the fuck out of Blackheart in that freaking Ghost Rider story. So nah, but it was cool seeing Eva Mendes in a superhero movie, and to kind of segue that, Eva Mendes is married to Ryan Gosling. Are you looking forward to the Starfighter movie, the Star Wars joint? And I know you've kind of been off Star Wars.
I need to see a trailer. I want to get excited for it, but I need to see a trailer. They got to give me a reason to get excited. Like, I was on board for a while with the Mandalorian and stuff, but then the Mandalorian season, whatever that was, came out, and I was like,
yeah, Mandalorian. Yeah, the last one, it took a little bit of a dive. But
have you watched Vision?
X-Men.
Have you watched Vision?
X-Men. Nah, I ain't. Well, I saw some of Visions, and that's cool because it kind of gives me the type of Star Wars that I want. But they're short stories. They're like little 8-minute stories. I can't do nothing with that.
Black Mirror with Star Wars.
Yeah,
but it's still a good watch though. By the way,
fuck that, yo. X-Men 97 is coming back.
Yeah,
all right. Well, that's going to be interesting, especially given our last conversation about them going forward with a completely different writer.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting.
I think it's going to be fascinating to see what the result. In our last few minutes on this particular side, which we can continue if y'all got time, it don't matter to me. We can even get food. But could I just give a brief synopsis of what I observed when I saw one battle after another just in the last couple of days?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so I'm glad I did this in the last couple of minutes, because this will give enough time for retort.
Been waiting for this.
I went in having kind of seen what had been said specifically from this panel, and so that was lying in the back of my head. So I did have that bias, and I have to say that it didn't take long for me to see exactly what it is that Ty specifically did give as a reason to kind of be put off by the way that the Black woman of lead here is being depicted. So I did have that, and I also agree that it was difficult to watch. And then when you do get into, I know it's the complex minds that all three of us are, you don't just think like, oh damn, that happened. You think, well, whose idea was this, and why? And it goes like down another rabbit hole. So I see and I concur with that. I did expect that to be the embodiment of the bulk of the movie. To my surprise, that was the first 37 minutes, and then there was still 2 more hours of the movie. So it gave me time to kind of, even though that was it etched in my head, to allow those to subside and allow some of the other storylines kind of take root, mainly of what was the world that we were living in, which was the most fascinating thing to me. That was something that folks did kind of give me a depiction that people like, oh yeah, this is like ice, but I was like, this is a whole different kind of world. Like these races are at the top. They're open and like it. Wait. So they're chasing her down because what? Because they're asking him about interracial what? Like, like there was a lot more intricacies along with the movie that I was pleasantly surprised to experience. So I guess that leaves me, I guess, not throwing the whole movie away with the bathwater.